Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, November the 14th, and we are here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. On Thursdays, we look at fantasy and science fiction. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes after having a day. That is entirely up to you. This is just time carved out for you for self-care, whatever it looks like for you. Good morning, Mary. It is show day for you. Get some rest, put out good vibes. All right, fantasy, science fiction. First up, Witch Queen of Red Winter by Ed MacDonald III in the Red Winter Chronicles. Having been saved from execution at the hands of the Draween, powerful magic users Rain used to count as allies. Rain finds herself in the vault, a vast magical wasteland which is falling apart before her eyes. Alongside her two closest companions, they are searching for the only person Rain believes can help them get back home, the enigmatic drinking game. An infuriating, elusive Queen of Feathers. But what home are they trying to get back to? Avitus Lacknath, power-hungry traitor that he is, has taken control of the drawing and is unwittingly doing the bidding of a darker master. He is soon to take control of the crown of Herenir and plunge the land into unending darkness. The fate of two worlds hangs in the balance. The stakes have never been higher. It's going to take Rain's dark, terrible powers as well as the unbreakable bond of three friends to ensure everyone lives to see the dawn. Excuse me. I kind of like that cover. Heir of Stardust and Secrets, first in the Mythic Spark series by C.C. Hartley. Good morning, Cajun. Off work today. Awesome. And it's raining, so snuggle up to read today. Oh, I bet that's going to be so nice. And Mary says, hi, Cajun. Lucky girl, one of my ideas of heaven. Indeed. Rainy day and a good book to enjoy reading. I figured. On the other hand, I was wide awake at 4 a.m. Oh, that's frustrating. But yeah, I figured you fell asleep. That's okay. Sleep is good. Know the feeling well up too early most days lately since the time change. Yeah, it takes a while to adjust, doesn't it? In the shadow of war, love may be her greatest enemy. Nyleria has always lived in the shadows of loss with only her childhood friend to bring light to her days. And when an ancient power is discovered within her, everything changes. Her family is torn apart by tragedy, and she is thrust into a conflict that has smoldered between humans and Fae for centuries. King Thaddeus, a human ruler hardened by the endless war against the Fae, seeks to protect his kingdom at any cost. When he discovers Nyleria's dormant magic, he knows it could be the key to his people's survival. But the closer Nyleria gets to the king, the more she realizes that her greatest danger may not be the spark or the Fae, but the feelings he stirs inside her. As the veil between realms grows thinner, Nyleria must navigate a path filled with peril, where trust is a luxury and love could be the most dangerous weapon of all. Torn between duty and desire, she must decide what they are willing to sacrifice for her people, for him, and for a future that hangs in the balance. So the thought that occurs to me is for a generation or a culture, whatever term you want to put to current times, that are so much into their feelings and emotions ruled by them, why in books is it always that the fear of having those feelings is their greatest bugaboo? I don't get it. The Legacy of Arniston House, fourth in Edinburgh Nights by T.L. Hutu. Ropa Moyo is a wannabe magician, can speak to the dead, and has officially given up being an intern. Leaving Scottish magic behind, she now works for the English Sorcerer Royal. But just as she adjusts to working for the English, an old enemy reveals a devastating secret from her about her gran, and Ropa's world falls apart. Outraged, she rushes home but finds her grandmother dead, murdered, with no killer in sight. What's more, she's the prime suspect. In her quest to find the true murderer, Ropamus becomes caught in the dark tendrils of a cult, hell-bent on resurrecting, wow, an ancient power. Ropa must use her wits, her magic, and call in all favors to stop the ritual and clear her name. It's a sort of fantasy mystery. The Shiver Tree by Holly Searcy. This is looking like rain here too. Oh, nice. Oh, I hope so. You've been needing it. Yeah, we are in great need of rain. Bad drought. Here too. They said we had the driest October ever. It's a light, slow rain, so that's good. For millennia, the land of Amara was guarded by 5 druid orders: Jade, Ice, Spirit, Sky, and Sun. But the clans splintered long ago, and without their protection, Amara is struggling in the face of blighted crops, monstrous aberrations, and pitiless pirate raids. As the daughter of Amara's High Druid, Kiana Palatine is certain that if the orders were reestablished, peace and plenty would follow. But no one agrees. Not even her own father. Tired of the politics and eager to make a difference in the world, Kiana sets out to enlist the help of her estranged sister, Ravena. Ravina, whatever. Soon, a series of visions begins to haunt her, and Kiana learns of an ancient druid artifact called the Shiver Seed. This powerful relic has fallen into the hands of the malevolent Deep Ones, who seek to use the seed for their own nefarious purposes. If Kiana can find the lost ice druids, she may be able to retake the seed and save the clans. But if the druids fall to the Deep Ones, all of Amara will be in danger. Excuse me. End of row 1. I never know how to say that. Modicet has a new one. 24th in the Saga of Recluse. Good for him. Oh, we got names here again. How about we share that tab? Like Alia Kal, over-captain in the Mirror Lancers of Sayador, has completed his tour duty as officer in charge of a small remote post. He just wants to finish and see his best friend consorted and assume his next post assignment. If only it were that easy. He discovers corruption in the Marchanter clans of Sayador, but investigating Mirror Lancer officers end up dead. Before he can go on leave, he has to replace one of these officers, close a post, dodge an attempt on his life, and an investigation from Magi. At Larat, Aliakal is assigned as a deputy commander to a post that never had one, and the commander doesn't want one. And that's just the beginning of his problems. I do like that cover too. 24 books so far. That's awesome. Mary asks where you're located. She's in Virginia, and Cajun's in Georgia, just west of Atlanta. Oh, you Southern people. No Southeast Georgia, but did not get here. Oh, okay. That's great. Lots of other people were not so lucky. Yeah. The Great Library of Tomorrow by Rosalia Aguilar Salas. Hylia has survived first in the Book of Wisdom trilogy. Hylia has served as the Sage of Hope for the Great Library of Tomorrow for centuries. She is one of the chosen few who embody and protect the values of humanity across the numerous realms of Paper World, which are connected within the library itself via magical portals controlled by the Book of Wisdom. But even her hope is tested when she and her partner Xavier, the Sage of Truth, are attacked while visiting the famous Rose Garden in the realm of Silvira. Wounded and in shock amidst a storm of fire, they are confronted by a deadly figure known to them as the Ashman. With the garden destroyed and its dragon protector missing, Xavier sacrifices his life so that Hylia can return home to warn the other sages. But there she finds the Book of Wisdom, always a guide to the sages, eerily silent. With the Ashman gaining strength, Helia soon finds herself in a race against time, searching for clues to the origins of their foe and any possible way to defeat him. Recording of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson, first in that series. Lots of blurbage. After losing both of their parents, Bristol Keats and her sisters struggle to stay afloat in their small, quiet town of Bowskeep. When Bristol begins to receive letters from an aunt she's never heard of, who promises she can help, she reluctantly agrees to meet and discovers that everything she thought she knew about her family is a lie. Her father might even still be alive, not killed, but kidnapped by terrifying creatures and taken to a whole other realm, the one he is from. Desperate to save her father and find the truth, Bristol journeys to a land of gods and fae and monsters. Pulled into a dangerous world of magic and intrigue, she makes a deadly bargain with a fae leader. Don't do that, Tigan. But what she doesn't know is that he's the one who drove her parents to live a life on the run, and he is just as determined as she is to find her father, dead or alive. Excuse me. That's great. Lots of other people were not so lucky from the hurricane. Are Deadly Designs by Kaylin Josephson. Uh, the Illiner may be over, but the race for Enderlane's future has just begun. The hunt for the old king's lost heir is on, and the first to find them will win the throne. Makira has allied herself with the rebels in pursuit of the heir, but the deeper her search takes her, the closer she gets to the royal family's wicked past. Ari is struggling to control her own growing power as she grapples with a dark secret that may be her undoing, and the truth behind Damien's greatest foe. Damien, the new head of House Adair, joins the race to find the royal successor and secure the crown. But as his influence at court grows, so do his paranoia and hunger for power. Reed is trying his best to stay true to the friend who's always had his loyalty and the flame who has his heart, while trapped in a web of chaos and lies. All the while, a darker force is festering in Enderland's underbelly. Makira, Ari, Damien, and Reed will need to find a way back to one another and themselves before the kingdom is torn apart. Hearts will be broken and new bonds will be forged. End of row 2. Servant of Earth by Sarah Holly, first in the Shards of Magic series, or duology perhaps. In the underground Fey realm, only the strongest and most ruthless have power, but a young human woman forced into a life of servitude is about to change everything. Kenna Heron is best known in her village for being a little wild, some say half feral, but she'll need every ounce of that ferocity to survive captivity in the cruel Fey court. Trapped as a servant in the fairies' underground kingdom of Mistay, Kenna must help her new mistress undertake 6 deadly trials, one for each branch of magic: earth, fire, earth, light, void, illusion, and blood. If she succeeds, her mistress will gain immortality and become the heir to Earth House. If she doesn't, the punishment is death for both mistress and servant. But with no ally but a sentient dagger of mysterious origins, Kenna must face monsters, magic, and grueling physical tests. But worse dangers wait underground, and soon Kenna gets caught up in a secret rebellion against the inventively sadistic fairy king, where her feelings for the rebellion's leader turn passionate. Kenna must decide if she's willing to risk her life for a better world and a chance at happiness. Surviving the trials and overthrowing a tyrant king will take cunning, courage, and an iron will, but even that might not be enough. Sounds like there might be some spicy times there. The Twice Sold Soul, first in the McKenna Ellerbeck series by Katie Hallahan. Like that cover on Servant of Earth. Yes. Fantasy usually has some okay covers. You can't unrun your demons. McKenna Ellerbeck knows this all too well. She's been running from literal demons for a decade, one that will stop at nothing to take McKenna's magic for their own, and one that shattered her heart by grasping for dark power. After a horrible run in with hellhounds on the streets of Paris, McKenna is ready to hide again when she's confronted by her ex, the archdemon of desire, Remiel Blake. Remy, the sexiest of gender shifting demons, calls in an old debt that McKenna owes her. Though, unlike other deals, the terms of fulfillment are simple. All she needs to do is return to her hometown of Arcadia Commons, Massachusetts, for 7 days. Disgruntled and disguised at her own insistence, McKenna returns home to the magical community, intent on simply staying in her hotel room watching pay per view. But with her high school reunion conveniently happening in the same hotel she's staying at, the one owned by her ex-boyfriend Bastien Lemaire, and her brother mysteriously picking fights with the town's most prominent witch family, she finds she can't stay away for long and decides it's finally time to face her past and the witches, werewolves, demons, and friends she left behind. Fortune's Kiss by Amber Clement. I have a feeling it's going to have some tarot elements to it. For the first time in a decade, the legendary gambling den Fortune's Kiss has returned to Ciudad Milagro. The game is Loteria. As starry-eyed children, best friends Meta and Lorena made a pact to enter the den together, but much has changed. Strong, proud Meta, sole daughter of the disgraced Robles family, dreams of becoming a famous painter, while beautiful Lo suffers at the hands of her powerful and abusive father. With its return, the pair enter the mystical den. Once inside, they realize that beneath the enchanting glamour, the salon hides treacherous secrets, like the old predatory magic beating in its heart. And it is ravenous. Round after round, the girls scheme, lie, flirt, do what's necessary to win. But when bodies begin piling up, all bets and friendships are off, as each girl learns exactly how far she's willing to go to ensure she leaves the table on top. See, this loteria is no children's diversion. It's a deadly game of chance that may just eat them alive. Sounds like fun. Not. The Lotus Empire, Burning Kingdoms number 3 by Tasha Suri. Malini has claimed her rightful throne as the Empress of Parajatvipa, just as the nameless gods prophesied. Now, in order to gain the support of the priesthood who remain loyal to the fallen emperor, she must consider a terrible bargain: claim her throne and burn in order to seal her legacy, or find another willing to take her place on the pyre. Priya has survived the deathless waters, and now their magic runs in her veins, but a mysterious yaksa with flowering eyes and a mouth of thorns lies beneath the waters. The yaksa promises protection for Hiranya, but in exchange, I'm so sorry, she needs a sacrifice, and she's chosen Priya as the one to offer it. Two women, once entwined by fate, now stand against each other, but when an ancient enemy rises to threaten their world, Priya and Malini will find themselves fighting together once more to prevent their kingdoms and their futures from burning to ash. End of that row. Lots of them today. We will not get to them all. The Relentless Legion by J.S. Dews. Third in the Divide sci-fi series. The Sentinels have rallied under the leadership of Adequin Rake, and Cavalon Mercer has uncovered the horrifying genetic solution his grandfather is about to unleash on the unsuspecting outer colonies. Both Rake and Cavalon race against time to save the universe once again. They'll need every resource, every ally who might answer the call. It might not be enough. Short and sweet. We like those. The Shadows Rule All by Abigail Owen, third in the Dominions series. King Eidolon has taken everything, my throne, my shadow wraith, and even my kingdom. I am a queen with no one to rule and a tattered army that's not even mine, and hope is fading fast. Now the shadows who once tormented Reven live within me, hissing and wheedling and enticing me to betray my friends, which could be deadly for us all, because without the guy I fell for, without Reven, I am all shadows and no light. And the alignment is almost upon us, the culmination of centuries that have fueled a vengeful king's festering rage. We're outnumbered, we're underpowered, and even if we could unleash the trapped goddesses, they would destroy the kingdom and everything in it. Another common element in fantasy books written by, let's say, younger writers of a certain generation and culture, a lot of them have monsters inside them, which is kind of strange. Give me a good old fashioned fantasy epic. Go save the kingdom with your companions. That's all I'm saying. Inkworld, The Color of Revenge by Cornelia Funk, fourth in the Inkworld series. 5 years after the events of Ink Death, Meggie, Mo, and the people of Umbra lead peaceful lives, their fires warmed by the flames of Dustfinger, the fire dancer. But when Dustfinger spots Orpheus's glass man within the gates of Umbra, a familiar restlessness begins to haunt him once more, and for good reason. The past 5 years have been a different story for Orpheus, who has spent his days living a meager and deprived existence, fueled only by his thirst for revenge against Dustfinger and all those who betrayed him. Now Orpheus has found an unexpected way to seek vengeance against his greatest adversary. He has corrupted an artist to create bewitched portraits that will see the heroes fade to gray. When Dustfinger's deepest fears come true, he'll have to figure out whether the words still obey Orpheus, or if he should be afraid of the pictures this time. Interesting. For some reason, names that have like finger, Dustfinger, Goldfinger sound creepy to me. I don't know why. That's all we have time for today. Again, I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Uh, they go for 2.5 hours. We listen to ambiance. I do those 3 times a week, every Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and Saturday afternoon is at 3 p.m. And those go for 5 hours, so a total of 10 hours of sprinting time if you want to get some carved out time for reading or whatever it is that projects, or Christmas is coming up if you want to work on anything for that. Hope you guys have a good Thursday, and tomorrow is Freeform Friday. We will be looking at maybe more fantasy, maybe things that look interesting otherwise. Not sure. It's Freeform. Have a good day, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.